this louder.
Okay, we're going to just put you a little bit louder.
That's great. So, hey, everybody on Meerkat, this is, hey, Bill, what's going on? I'm about to do a sales meeting for a group in South Africa. They just got started on our program. So, you guys, I'm going to Meerkat this whole thing, if that's all right.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'll record it, and then I'll have it up on YouTube so we can actually go back and you guys can review this later.
Cool.
Yeah. So, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Right on. Usually I got to have people do that again. So, I'm in California. You guys are in South Africa. I love the fact that we've got technology that allows us to communicate and to connect. Raise your hand if you could have benefited from a couple extra deals last week. Right?
We're trying.
Yeah. But I mean, if that would have helped, an extra 2 deals last week, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, what I want to talk about today is how to use that university to pick up those 2 extra deals. So, the first thing I want to do is introduce myself. My name's David Bradley. The best way to get a hold of me is either Skype, because we are international. The best way to get a hold of me is either Skype, because we are international. My Skype ID is just dbradley72. You guys are welcome to reach out to me anytime if you have a question. Alette can attest that I'm a pretty available guy. You can also email me, david@grantcardone.com. I've been doing this since March of 2011. I got started with Grant because I won a social media contest that he was putting on, and my strategy to win the contest was to attack it as if I was trying to get hired. Lo and behold, I got hired. So the reason I decided to come work with Grant was because Grant's technology took me from barely surviving in sales to thriving in it. And I was able to do that in a very, very short period of time. So when I got an opportunity to share that technology with other people, I was all in. So the first thing I'm going to dig into is a little bit is I wanted to give a couple shout outs. So far this month, you guys have been on the program for about a month and a half. Peter is jamming on the program. Peter, are you with us today?
Probably me.
Yes, he is.
Sweet. Look, can I get some feedback from you, Peter? What have you seen from the program that you like? What has been the impact so far?
Just running through all of the various things that Grant tells you and the steps to the sale. It's like a recipe. If you follow the recipe, then there's no ways that you can go wrong. There's no ways that you cannot not make a sale.
You can't see.
Yeah, I love that though. So if you follow the recipe, if you just follow the recipe, there's no way you're going to lose.
Yeah, no ways.
Love it.
No ways.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And you've done 130 segments this month out of the program, so that's great. Is there anything that you've seen that's been your favorite?
Definitely the greeting is something that stands out to me, and it's something that a lot of people get wrong. Because with a greeting, you set the tone for everything else.
Love that. And then Susan Duncan, are you on the call too?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, nice. Well, congratulations. You've done 85 segments this month. Well, what are you getting out of the program?
I'm definitely a lot more motivated. Not that I wasn't motivated before, but it's like a little daily inspiration. And like Peter said, it's like baking a cake. You've got to follow the steps. And I've actually been doing that, going out to clients, and I get back and I actually look, okay, how far am I? Sales process. So yeah.
That's fantastic.
Thanks.
Good job, and I'm actually going to talk about that because what this program, Cardone University, is all about. I mean, this is for individual sales professionals like yourselves, but it's also for managers and companies who are proud of what they do, but they're just not satisfied with their current level of results. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Does that sound like you guys?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right? Cool.
100%. We need
So-
to push the pedal.
That's right. So, obviously you guys are people that you want to push more. You know there's more out there. So anytime you start thinking about, hey, how can I leverage this program to get a little bit more? Was there something I could have done a little bit differently with Mr. Jones or this particular client? Or could I have closed the deal faster? You know, those are your cues to log in because you guys are successful already, right? So where's the rest of the opportunity, and how can I use this program to literally close that gap between what Grant will talk about, which is where your reality is versus your real potential? So what I want to make sure you guys are thinking with the program is that how can I use this not so much to get trained, but to solve a problem? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So there are three key problems that salespeople tend to struggle with in any industry. The first one, do you guys know what they are? Let me just ask you that.
Three key problems.
Repeat, please.
Well,
What is that like incorrect estimation of it?
yeah, it would probably be that.
They want you to clarify the question.
Yeah, so salespeople in any industry, and this could be for a company or an entrepreneur, but if you're looking to expand your business, there's going to be three key challenges. And what do you think those things are?
Getting more sales on the table.
Okay, more volume. What else?
Higher hit rate. Clients that you've got, that you actually put in conversion rate. People that you do get in front of to convert them to sales and not lose them.
Yep, convert them. Okay, what else?
Getting the guys to actually pay the price.
Okay.
Not cut your cost.
Yeah, pay the asking price.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Grant's going to tell you that if we come out of that, like you guys are all correct. So, but if we back out of that and we look at a bigger picture, there's three key elements that are challenges for any salesperson, any sales organization. The first one is obscurity, meaning if people don't know who you are, they can't do business with you, right? Coca-Cola is very good at staying out of obscurity. Google has done this because now when you have a question, you don't open an encyclopedia anymore. What do? Google it, right? So the only thing an encyclopedia is good for now is really just elevating your computer monitor so you can get some neck relief. Right? So that's the first problem, is obscurity. If people don't know who you are, they can't do business with you. But the second problem is going to be uncertainty, meaning you got to be completely lit up, sold, fanatical, obsessed about you, your product, and your company. You have to know that you guys are the answer, right? So, and then the third thing is persistence. Can you stay in it to win it? Can you push through any resistance that pops up? And those are the keys to getting that more volume, converting more deals, and then getting them to pay that price because you're fully certain that this is the right product at the right value and the right price. So the university is going to work with you guys to help you solve all three of those problems. So you guys got some notes, it looks like? You got a notepad?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. I want you to write down a number for me. And if you need to close your eyes to visualize this, go ahead. But think about 7 months down the road. You've been using Cardone University. It's 7 months from now. And let's just say, for the sake of discussion, you've doubled your production. I want you to write down what that number is. So consider, what you're putting out every single month in terms of volume and income, and write down what those two numbers look like if you doubled where you're at right now. And then attach to that a bigger purpose. I mean, Alette's a really great gal and all, but you're not here just for her, right?
And you know who's also here, David?
What's that?
Kevin is. You know who's also in the group? Kevin, our owner that's paying for us. He's
great.
Also here.
Where are you at, Kevin?
Wait. There he is. He's waiting.
You're in the dark corner.
He's in the dark corner. There he is.
Oh, why are you in the corner? Are you in trouble?
And these guys get all the knowledge. I have to sit in the background. So see what they got to do.
Good, good, good. So you can just observe. That's fantastic. Well, thank you for being here. Very nice to meet you.
That's good, you.
So you guys, what I wanted you to make sure you do is when you get that number to just literally tie that into some bigger purpose about like who you are, why you work every day, why you're in the grind, why you bust your backside to create success. So with that being said, I want to jump into the top 3 strategies to make this program work. And if you want to jot these down, feel free to do so. Step number 1 literally is you want to decide and expect. So there's 2 decisions you need to make with Cardone University. And the first decision you need to make is that it's here to help you. You got to decide that you're going to approach this program with a mindset of how do I use this program to increase my production on a daily basis so I can become a better provider for my family and I can hit my real goals and the things that literally motivate you guys every single day. So the first decision is decide that the program is here to help you and decide to use it to do just that. The second decision, though, comes from you have to decide how good you want to be. And Grant was running a meeting for our sales team one day, and I heard him say that, and it really touched a chord with me. That's a decision you got to make every single day. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
Right? And this goes beyond just real estate, right? This is in life. This is this is all levels of existence. You have to decide how good you want to be. This is a football team has to make that decision before they take the field, right? So that's the first piece, is to just make the decision. And when I say expect, what I mean by that is that you want to now raise your expectation level of yourself. So regardless of where you're at, is there room for improvement? Right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So the one thing I want to make sure that's really, really clear for you guys and that you can wrap your head around, and if this is a challenge for you, then reach out to me and I'll give you some things you can look at in the program to help do that. But what's really important for me to help you, for you to recognize at this point is getting better does not mean you weren't good to begin with. Right? A lot of people will hit training and be like, oh, well, what is that? What's that all about? I don't need training, right? But when you look at the top performers, they're exactly what I said earlier. They're very proud of what they do, but they're never, ever, ever satisfied. Who's an elite athlete in South Africa?
Elite athletes.
Elite athletes. That would be our whole Springbok rugby side.
You remember, David, I told you about the footy stuff?
Yeah.
Like, rugby, this is the lingo. You got to speak rugby here.
Who's the rugby star? Who's the Tiger Woods of rugby down there?
It's a 15-man game, so it's a little bit difficult to decide.
What was the name of that team?
The Springboks. It's our national side.
Okay, the Springboks, right? So
Springboks.
Bucks?
It's like BUCK is not as in dollars money, but it's kind of a name for an antelope, and it's a springbuck. It's our national animal.
Okay.
Emblem, like it's a little animal. I will have to send you a photo of it.
Yeah. So those guys practice how hard?
Oh my goodness.
6 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you the new. Can I tell you something? Sorry, I need to say something.
Yeah.
My impression of them is they are the modern gladiators. They are so fit and so trained. It's unbelievable.
Right. And that's a group that is very proud of what they do, but they're never satisfied. They always know there's more out there, and they train every day because they recognize it's a valuable element of their success, not because they're not good, but because you got to maintain that. Grant will tell you it takes 24 hours to get rusty. So what I want to make sure that you're clear on is that a program like this, training, it's not about because you weren't good, you're already good, now we're going to get better.
Yep.
Okay. Step number 2 is to chuck any limiting thinking. So you want to become very, very clear. I mean, Grant will tell you this. This is an old adage, but you become what you think about. Where you put your attention is where you go. And you want to control the content of your mind. Has anybody ever heard the story of the 2 wolves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Okay, so you got a tribe of ancient warriors, and they're sitting by the fire, and one of the grandson says, or the grandfather approaches his grandson, and he's going to teach him a lesson, and he says, "Son, there lives inside each of us 2 wolves, They're constantly at war with each other. One is pure evil and the other is pure good. The evil one forces you to be angry and envious and have jealousy and sorrow and regret and greed and all this negative stuff. It's a very self-centered and destructive ego. Whereas the other wolf is pure goodness, and he helps you to experience joy and peace and hope and love and serenity and humility and self-respect and a constructive ego and empathy. And so the boy starts thinking about this, and he looks like he's getting scared, and he looks at his grandpa and he says, well, which wolf wins, Grandpa? And the grandpa looks at him and he says, son, it's the one you feed. Right? So the moral of that story is you want to chuck limiting thinking and not feed the evil wolf, okay? So, and that's how you get the most out of this program, is that you like literally use it to feed the good wolf. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so step 1 was to decide and expect. Step 2 is we're going to chuck limiting thinking. And then step 3 now is you just want to put a strategy in place to make sure that you're getting the most out of this, okay? So you want to make a promise to yourself and your future, that future you that we were writing about a moment ago, and your family, that you're going to do everything you can to bring your A game. So the best way to do that is you want to approach Cardone University at least twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. We have a requirement in our office where we're going to do 6 segments a day before 9 a.m. So it's good to put a timestamp on it. I don't know if that's applicable in your world or not, but you guys can figure out sort of how that works. But if you put a minimum requirement and a timestamp on it, that'll have a huge impact for you guys. But if you can do 2 sessions, though, that's also very effective, because you're going to be a sort of a different individual at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon than you were this morning. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Right? You've seen some stuff already today. You know, you've dealt with clients, you've talked to people, you've listened to the news, like you're different now. So you literally want to make sure that you're coming in here twice a day, once in the morning to get your head right, to start your day, and then later on is you want to start debriefing what's happened so far today. So, and that's Grant's prescription. Grant will talk about 2 sessions a day, some in the morning, some in the afternoon. And you also want to start using, do you guys know that handling objections piece?
Yeah.
Right? You literally want to start using that to prepare and also to debrief. And as you go through fundamentals of selling, Grant talks a lot about, and he talks about it in Sell or Be Sold, the power of prediction. So when you're on a call with somebody and you have an appointment that's coming up, if you've got a sense as to what the objections might be or where the concern is for the client, literally hop into the university before you meet with them and warm up. Practice handling objections, watching some of the closing material inside, handling objections, or in closing the deal. But you can then also use it as a debrief. So when you finish with a client, just like a good sports team after the game or a boxer after a fight, what do? They go watch the tape, right? They're looking for things. They're looking for, hey, what worked? What didn't? What can I do better next time? If you won the game, could I have won it faster or better or more? Could I have dominated it better? Or how did I lose? Because you got a choice when you lose, right? You can either use your failure to your advantage so you can actually learn and gain something from your experience, or you can let it get under your skin and eat at you. And then that goes right back to the wolf analogy, right? Okay. So, and then the fourth thing you want to do is use the program for practice. And you guys are doing some role play pretty often, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Right?
have.
Yeah.
Okay. So anytime there's a stump, or if you guys want to pick a specific piece or close to practice and work on, that's where that handling objections category comes into play. You just pop that up, pick one, and we're just going to practice it till we're we know it like we know our name.
Cool.
Okay, so that's the formula. Now, success on any level. Does anybody know Grant's success formula? It's A cubed is what we call it. Do you guys know what the 3 A's are?
Attitude,
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other one is.
It's approach. Very good, though. 2 out of 3 ain't not bad. So if you guys are drawing this on a line, like if you want to visualize this, draw a pyramid. Attitude is the base of your pyramid. Approach and action are the top 2. Take one out, the whole thing collapses. So So your success formula is built on your attitude, and then the peak of success is based on approach and action.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
You feed one, pyramid gets bigger. Take one out, shrinks. Does that
Do you
sound...
know what we call? Sorry. Do you know what we call action here?
What's that?
We had another trainer here. He's quite a guy, and he coined an acronym, which is, if you want to write it down, you got a pen there?
I'm ready.
It's AGOYA.
Agoya.
Agoya, yes.
You know, I had Agoya once, but a little penicillin and it cleared up in like 2 weeks.
So Agoya stands for, okay, first of all, you just leave the A out. It was, the first year it was just Goya, which is get off your ass.
Love it.
Okay? Get off your ass, right? And
Yeah.
then Agoya was aggressively get off your ass.
Hey, we got to get that trending on Twitter. Monday motivation, Goya. That's fantastic. So remember I was talking about using the program as your sort of to hit it later in the day because you're a different guy or you're a different gal. So that's where you want to literally start debriefing those three elements. So you want to hit the program later in the afternoon and ask yourself, hey, where's my attitude at? How's my approach? And am I doing enough? Right? And the repetition of using this program is what creates certainty for you. Right? Who could benefit from more certainty? I know I could.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Okay. So this is where the program comes into where you can like literally start handling any situation anytime where when it pops up, you're actually excited about it. Like the worst challenge imaginable, you're like, I'm ready, bring it on, let's go. Okay. So if you start treating your mind like a muscle and then using this program as food, it's fuel. And the one thing, I mean, and Grant will tell you this too, is, you know, motivation doesn't last. Does that make sense? Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to think of motivation as like fuel. I was actually noting on this just the other day. You know, it's like you make time to eat, right? And what happens if you don't eat? Right, all kinds of. I mean, ultimately you die. You know, so that's where this program comes in. This is fuel, right? Because fuel runs out. You got to put gas in your car. You got to do that with some regularity, with some consistency, you know? So there's does anybody follow mixed martial arts over there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Has anybody heard of Ronda Rousey?
Yes.
Okay. So her mom was also, before Ronda got into the UFC and mixed martial arts, she was a world champion judo competitor and went to the Olympics. And her mom preceded her in that. She was also a world champion judo competitor. And she told her daughter at a very young age, she says, hey, you don't train to be the best in the world. You train to be the best in the world on your worst day. Because the Olympics are set on a very specific day. So you could be having your worst day and still need to hit the mat. So that's another piece of this program where literally it doesn't matter what's going on in your immediate circle and in your immediate surroundings. If it's your best day, if it's your worst day, you're already the best. So success, when you guys start really killing it, and you guys are already, you're the number one group out there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So some of this may have already started happening to you, but when you start hitting it, okay, you guys are going to see some things. You're going to get some attention. You guys have attention now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But then what? You're going to start getting some criticism.
Yeah.
Already happening.
Yeah.
Already happening.
You guys got some haters?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. Congratulations. Because what follows that and what you probably already have to some degree is admiration. So some groups are going to be talking about how you guys are lucky. And then another group is going to be like, hey, how are you doing that? How are you creating that? You're killing it. What can we learn something from you, right? Is that happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I want to give you guys, what have you heard today so far that you like? What's resonating with you? What's the one word you've heard me say that you're taking with you?
Attitude.
Yeah.
The AAA.
Yeah.
The
AQ.
The non-compromisable interaction of the three. You know, you can't do the one without the other.
Yeah. I love that. Uncompromisable interaction. That's fantastic. Can I keep that?
Yeah, I'll charge you for it. I'll send you an invoice.
Thank you.
So you can. Just want to ask you, can you expand a little bit on approach? I have just a little bit like, what would approach be? Like just a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So approach is going to apply to how you take something. So this could be your approach with a client, how you walk them through the steps. This could be your approach to follow-up. This could be your approach to prospecting. It could be any approach, anything that has a cycle of action that you need to complete. So I guess, from start to stop and everything in the middle would be your approach.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so estimation of effort and all of that will fall under approach, basically.
Yeah, and that's preparation, it's debrief, it's start, it's stop, it's everything in the middle.
Okay, cool. Because attitude and action is pretty, like every day, like everyone deals with that on a daily basis, but approach is just something that's good that we cleared that up.
Yeah. It's the steps, it's the process, it's how you go from, welcome to congratulations.
Okay, cool.
What else? Any other questions? Anything that's that I can drop on you? Any challenges you've had that you haven't been able to find an answer to? How can I help?
No, we're good. We're good. I think sorry, I'm just talking all the time. Maybe the team say something. Is anybody want to say something? No, I think what's been really good about the team is we do drill every morning at 9 o'clock, and they've really embraced it. And it's all very high and uptone and fun, and they're really all there, which is great,
Yeah.
And lots of laughter, and it sinks in, I think that's what I've seen from my side. They can maybe tell you how they feel.
I should have had my Cricket app ready to go.
You know what? To me, the drilling is not a punishment. It's first of all, it's fun, and second of all, while you're busy having fun and getting your attitude out for the day, it's just you are learning something.
Yeah.
It's you're grooving it in. You just getting those. It's like going to the gym and hitting the machines and working out the muscle.
Yeah. Love that analogy. It is like a gym. That's fantastic,
Yeah. I also think with the drilling, it gives you that confidence when you meet with a client.
Yeah.
We've been drilling the whole greetings thing, and it gives you an opportunity to actually put that into practice.
Right. You guys, you've heard of Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that was great, that made him great, was that he practiced harder than he played, and he would like to, in their practice sessions, pretend as if there was only 6 seconds left in the game. And they would practice what to do in those last 6 seconds, so that when it came down to that, they'd been there 100 times before. It was no big deal. You didn't have the pressure of the experience being fresh and new because you practiced it 1,000 times. And if you look at any elite military group, that's what they do, right? They want to eliminate thought from the whole deal. And by you guys doing those drillings consistently over and over and over again, when the objection pops up, when the situation happens, you can now act with the same level of competence as you drove to work today.
Cool.
So to wrap this up, who's read this book, Sell or Be Sold?
Yeah, it's the first one, but we had the first cover, the blue one with the ring on.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. So in Sell or Be Sold, Grant's got 4 questions for you. And if you haven't thought of these questions recently, I want to give them to you just so you've got something to think with and take this into your week. The 4 questions would be, are you fulfilling your potential? The second question is, do you approach success as a duty and an obligation? The third question is, would more success be bad for you?
Okay, let's slow down a bit.
Success is a duty and obligation.
You guys got the first 3?
Yes.
All right. So, and then the last question is the entire family in on one plan for the creation of your success? So, and when that happens, when you have to stay late, it's not a problem. It's totally understood. So, a couple resources. If you guys aren't following Grant on Twitter, please do so. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is @DavidRBradley. If you're not subscribed to our weekly success email, you can do that at cardonesuccess.com. So you just go put that into your browser, and then you can get signed up for that. We also have a group on Facebook for users of this program. It's called Cardone On Demand and Cardone University users. You guys are welcome to request to join in. We'd love to have you. It's a great little forum just to communicate with other salespeople that are in the field and in it every day, in the trenches, if you will. And then, is everybody subscribed to GrantCardoneTV.com? So if you go to, it used to be Whatever It Takes Nation or WitNation.com, but we've changed it. It's now GrantCardoneTV.com. There are multiple shows that Grant does, and then we've got other entrepreneurs and success-minded people in there giving every day. There's different episodes about success and sales and business and life. Great place to go. There's some amazing resources. I'm going to send you a link to an interview after this call that Grant did with a man named Robert Duggan. And the interview is very powerful. It's very motivational, and it will give you a sample of what that channel offers for you guys. And you're welcome to subscribe to it.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right. So, hey, any other questions? Anything I can help with?
Very cool.
At the moment.
All right.
Thanks for getting up early for us.
Oh, no. It's my pleasure.
Yes.
We know Grant gets up 4 o'clock. We're not sure what time you get up.
Right. I'm usually up around 5:30.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good day already.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for starting your week with me. Have a great rest of the evening. And if there's anything I can help with, feel free to reach out to me at any time.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao. Bye. Bye.
All right. So, hey, you guys over there in the meerkat world, thank you for hanging out and being a part of that. What did you guys get? I'm going to stay on here for a little bit and see if I can answer some questions. What did you guys hear from that you liked? What resonated with you guys? Let's see. I'm going to look at some comments here. Scroll down here. Attitude, approach, and action. Agoya. Did you guys like the Agoya? I love the Agoya. That's get off your ass. That's fantastic. What did Mike Baltus say? I love how this guy leads with questions no matter the answer. He's still going to go off his script. That's right. I'm going to take that one as a compliment, Mike. Thank you very much. Thanks for the restream, Laura. Thank you guys for being here. Who else? Bill's in here. Who's this good-looking guy right here who just showed up? Mario, thanks for hanging out. Okay, guys, I'm going to bounce. Thank you very much for being a part of this over on the Meerkat. Have a great rest of the week. Don't forget, I'm going to be back at 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time for the Nooner. I'm going to be doing a very special episode today. We lost a heavy hitter and a big player over the weekend, so I'm going to be paying some tribute to this guy. What do we got here? Mario, there's a lot of basic knowledge that some people just forget to... Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Mario. Okay, hey, thanks for being here, Bill. Appreciate you hanging out, and see you guys at 12 o'clock.